open, my friends. Battles have yet to begin. Laughter we had in gales and floods, but if not, at least there will be blood. The sorrow and loss may abound. We'll do our best to hold this hallowed ground.
Does he know which
It's for those rations
we
ready.
eat this stuff with?
I think that's why he's here. He doesn't have to use forks anymore. Who needs to know when you don't need to use them?
I will say, if you watch William eat, he has a fork, and it is made out of metal.
Can I ask you? This is not. This is not in character. Does William, like most owls, not have the proper digestion tract to digest all of their meals and therefore has to regurgitate owl pellets? I think you should. I think you've already nixed the waddle idea because you have predatory feet. I need you to keep at least one of these things.
Nah, he's an owlin. Doesn't have those.
Come on. It's not like a ball of fur, feathers,
Ew.
and bones.
Stop that.
That's what happens.
That's what owls do.
Yeah, that's how owls eat and such.
Never heard of owl pellets? Come
That's
on.
a genuine thing.
We found a couple around our house already.
Yeah.
Because I would love to see Peter reenact the motion of hawking one of those. A size version.
Oh,
which would be
I would
like
say
like
that
this-
other
like this big.
owlins could do that, but I am the son of a nobleman. We do not.
But I like thematically that as noble as your father, at the end of every meal, he still goes.
No,
Anyway.
no, he had very
Anyway,
severe
let's get
lines.
those perception checks.
I'm
Okay, BT, perception
put
check
up
with
easy hits
advantage.
here for everybody, and nobody will take them. I'm underhanding these to you guys. Come on.
I don't know, I think we'd rather, taste them and then regurgitate quickly.
25.
25. The night, again, is peaceful, to a degree. This time you do get a few groups that move within your range. They're not looking for something, though. They look to be marching. At least about 100 or so that reach within your range. There's probably more. And they're marching south.
That would be part of the morning brief to everyone.
Essentially, more groups are moving south. William, to you, that would be strange behavior.
That is quite strange, but shouldn't affect what we're planning to do here. But quite strange indeed.
The next day, Teffie, on this day,
Yo.
you do have one line on your piece of paper.
Wonderful. Most excellent.
Previous day, you didn't. There were zero, zilch, nada.
So are we on?
So 4-4 now. It is the fourth day, the fourth line of the 11th month, or 11th luna, technically.
One line on the paper. I am considering my options. I have not. Are we going to play out the day, or are we just kind of like speeding through them for travel purposes?
Depends on you guys. Would you like to play out anything in this day, or are we going to speed it through?
Been kind of enjoying this RP episode so far.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
anyone
The
likes
I
yak
to...
too.
agree. I apologize. Lily needs me to take her outside again.
Oh,
Send
yeah,
me pictures of the dog.
She's not a. I've
I will
tried to
take
take
some.
photos of her, and
just
she
in
just
passing,
always
even
moved.
if it's blurry and it's
Yeah,
like,
just
Okay,
Any-
you know what? Here we go.
anything to do with the creature, send it to me.
I'll do that later.
So, Draken, to circle back to a couple of days ago, what was the fella that you were looking for? The one with the purple eyes and everything? No, you were with Nero with the purple eyes, and you were looking for someone else who had sprinkled versions of himself around the place?
how much exactly do you know about the royal families,
Negligible.
or as Nero is concerned?
I mean, I've loosely heard of him from, like, school and history class and everything, but I don't know the details. I just know that he sodded off all of a sudden, left his sister to rule.
Yeah. His uncle, Marcus. He and I have business to discuss. Not that I really want to fight him anymore. Kind of lost that fire over the years. I just need to know why. That's all.
You need to know why about what? That he made versions of himself?
Why he did everything that he did.
And what would that be?
You don't know how many worlds, versions of him, or copycats of him have destroyed. You don't get it. So many. And chances are his fingers are in this pie in some way. This cataclysm.
What kind of pie?
The cataclysm of your world. That's the pie. It's mostly death and destruction and a lot of molten rock flung out into space.
So a metaphorical
For
pie?
this one, at least.
Not an actual pie that's made of unknown questionable substances?
Well, if there were to be a being of such strength and power that they consumed those types of, then I would guess that a destruction pie would be quite delicious. But I have traveled so many different places. Teflessa, you have no idea.
Just for my own personal frame, I forgot. How old is Draken's character? Ish?
Ish? What did we agree to? Hold on, let me pull back this note. I am 42.
Oh, okay.
And Dragonborn only lived to be roughly 80 to 90 years old.
How long did Genasi live? I actually never knew that.
Yeah, around
It's
about
in
the same
the-
ages,
It's in
I
the
think.
race description.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are basically the same age. You're like a smidge older than I am. Nice.
I always forget you're in your late 30s. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
know.
that too.
I know! Isn't it wacky?
It is wacky, yeah.
Boreas is a child compared to you guys.
Even compared to BT.
Oh, yeah.
Funny
Yeah.
enough.
Mm-hmm.
So, how does someone go about making versions of themselves? And how
Growing.
sentient would these versions be? Like, are they operating on their own? Or would they just kind of be like a body to just sit there and attend all the boring meetings?
Nero tried to explain it to me. It has to do with the blood magic inherent to the race, but he called them clones. Because that's what Marcus is writing stated. They were just copies.
Oh, clone.
Him, but not exactly. Sometimes programmed different, sometimes
So-
left to grow on their own.
Murray, we met the small boy with the potions, except he was an adult man at this point. Was
Callus.
he a clone of Marcus? Like, clone, was that the
Leia-
word that was
so-
used?
Tabletop wise, player wise,
Yeah.
yes. Character wise, Teffie would not have near enough information to put that deduction
Okay.
together, though. Like, that information's not with Teffie. She doesn't know anything about that.
Had Callus mentioned the name Marcus at all?
I don't think he did.
I don't think Marcus has been
Right.
mentioned one time
No.
this campaign.
No, this
I
is the
don't
first time.
Outside of
I
this
think
point.
so, but I was hoping, because that
It's-
bastard owes me an explanation.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just the events of Andrea, no actual names. Anytime the Marcus figure in the events of Andrea would be mentioned, he would be mentioned as the unknown. Never actually by name.
Wait. Oh, yeah, it's because of the unknown enemy and all that
Yeah.
jazz. Okay. Dang.
So there's no correlations, unfortunately, for any of these characters.
Dang it. Okay.
Good question, though.
So, how. If you're not from here, and by here I don't just mean like here, I just mean Teffie's talking with her hands, which I am as well, but you can't see it. So if you're not from here, like, not just here specifically, but like here generally, right? If you're not from this place, if you're not from Nathriel, but Nero is, how did he get to there and then you get to here? And other places in between?
There are many worlds than these, Tiflessa. So many. The magic, I don't know. It's far beyond anything the gods have ever given any paladin. But
So,
there are certain avenues, certain connections between places. Act kind of like areas where you can create a door, so to speak.
alright. So, many worlds, gods, power, blah blah blah. When you've gone to the other places, have you still been able to connect with your god? And this is the first place that your god hasn't been here? Or does your god just only exist in your world? How does that work?
This is the first time, which leads me to believe something that I think I've always kind of believed about the power that the gods give you. It's not their power necessarily. It is and it isn't. It's your belief in that power that gives you the power. It's both. It's a snake eating its own tail situation. At least in my opinion. As far as this world's concerned, I have no idea. There's might be something blocking it, something in the
So-
way, but
Interesting. Because we have our gods, and they work. And in fact, some of the gods used to be people, but then they became the gods, which is fascinating. And then there was a guy
that's how
who
most gods work,
spoke
unfortunately.
for the gods as well, and he wrote a whole book about it. So, do any of our gods exist in these other places, or are they only for here? Like, how does the pantheon work? Are we fully separate from the other places?
Yes and no. It depends. I think there are some worlds that are nearly so similar you couldn't tell the difference. And then others that are exact opposites. I knew a few mathematicians in my world. They worked with the Paladin Order. Try and kind of bring some semblance of science into belief, but never actually worked fully. But I think some of their ideas were correct.
very interesting stuff. I'm not quite sure what to make of all that. I'll have to mull it over for a bit.
I'm a man of faith. I don't know what to make of it either. But I'm predisposed to believe in fate. So, not very scientifically minded.
Teffie will ponder and walk quietly for a good while at this stage. Not really sure. Just kind of turning things over in her head and occasionally making scribbles in her book about the weird little carnivorous berries that they come across.
Big Ten and or God, I almost said Aberrat again. Both of you. The two both of you. What do you know fully about the gods? What are their names? What's the history of these? I'm assuming you two are both the oldest, considering you're metal and you are plant. So, any ideas? Any knowledge you could share?
Aborius kind of looks quizzically over at you and says, "To be honest, we've never really had a reason to think about the gods."
One down, one to go. Big Ten?
I only have learned of things recently. I'm not that old, actually, as far as if you count it as activation time. I am very old build time. I was built long ago, but I have only been active for I don't remember how long it's been now.
Less than a cycle. We
Yeah,
met
less than a cycle.
We met shortly after, like just a few solars after you got activated.
What's a cycle?
Year.
So you do know what those phrases are, at the very least. You can understand when I say dates and times.
I have yes. I have libraries which I can access which allow me to understand that calendar reference.
And I do not, so no.
Now, don't get
I
me
think it's
wrong.
kind of
I kind of actually think that at least the verbiage for the date and times in this world kind of makes sense because it's actually based off of the heavenly bodies, you could say. Moon, sun, all of those things. All of ours is based in religion completely. All of our names of the days and the weeks and all of those phrases are in some way rooted in religion. So it could be confusing why I say Thursday and you don't know why. Tuesday, which is named after my god, actually, dear. But anyway, we could talk about this for ages.
Your days have names?
Yes. Do your days not have names? Tell me your days have names at the very least, that you understand when the weekend is and when the week is. Right? Is there no weekend?
I don't know what you're talking about here. No, it's just the line, and then many lines to the lunar, and then many lunars to the cycle.
Many solars to the. Okay.
Many solars to
Solar
the
is a
line.
day, I'm guessing, because it's literally the sun, sol.
Well,
I get
okay.
that. I get that. Lunar month.
They don't have
Phases of the
names.
moon.
How dreadfully confusing.
But if you're talking to someone and you say, "Hey, last Wednesday I was doing this thing," what would you say? Let's say it's okay.
4 solars ago.
Yeah, I'd talk about how many solars ago that was, or just what the date was. I don't know what a Wednesday is.
Named after what I believe to be the common name for the dragon god Javi, Woden. Anyway, I'm just gonna rub my face for a second and go. I'm gonna think of how to describe how dates and times.
If a week is a line, what is a weekend? We don't have a line end except for when it's just the next line.
How many days are in a how many solars are in a line?
7.
Okay, then it would be 1 and 7 are the weekends because they end the week. They are the end of the week. On you,
But
I know
can't
that
you
it
just call them
doesn't
1 and 7? Why does it matter?
because if you're saying, "Hey, let's meet up sometime this weekend," you wouldn't say, "Hey."
I don't know what
Hey.
you're talking about with the weekend. Do you get?
Hey, let's meet up 1 and 7. That kind of, it's just a word that means one at the weekend.
Do you have designated social time in your world?
Why would you not
Yeah.
meet in the middle of the week?
Because we work throughout the week. We work throughout the it is 2 through 6 is normally when we work.
You do not work every day.
You don't.
You
Yeah.
know,
Why do you not? That seems
Are
awfully
your
unproductive.
people's
Once again,
lazy
religion is a very big part of Parkoth. I don't think you understand this. There is this day we call
Well,
it the
I'm from
Sabbath.
Quadrilis.
It is
It's like the
a
religious
day in which
epicenter of the
one
continent.
particular it is a day in which one particular religion, one religious clave does not work. And it's just socially throughout the centuries, we just kind of we have 2 days off in a week. It's just it. You guys work 7 days a week. How many hours a day do you work?
While they're having this conversation, BT, you getting another contact?
Same protocol. Isolated. Little environment. Firewalled, ready to drop at a moment's notice. And make contact. Connect. Or not connect, make contact first. Hello?
Hello.
So
Can you
I
hear me now?
I can turn it on. What is this place?
Iridai?
Iridai.
The name of the continent? I don't know where you are specifically, so I can't tell you the name of the region you're in.
Everything is. It's nothing but stone around me.
So you're contained underground. I could help you get out if you were to connect.
Why would connecting do that?
It allows me to know your location in reference to where I am currently at. It's a two-way share. You would know where I'm at in reference to where you're at, of course.
Just a voice in my head. Why?
I could also give you the knowledge that I've acquired since I became active.
I need to know. How do you do it?
Connect. I send out the connection signal. You blocked it last time.
I didn't mean to. It just happened.
No, it's safer that you do that. I agree. You don't know what's out there. There are things out here that probably better not to connect with. If you connect with me, it will be 2 ways, and you can learn. I'll send the signal.
They accept the signal. You have Roll20 open right now. I'm gonna ping a location.
Ooh, roll 20. Okay, I see that we are here.
Alright. Look all the way down in the lower left region. See that banner where it says Iridai?
Hold it, what? Oh my god, yeah?
That location I'm picking. South of the Grantinian Senate. In the ocean. is the location that you're getting from this ping.
How in
What the
world
hell?
did we get a signal that far away? Okay.
Hold up. Something ain't right.
Somebody around right there.
I pull up on the map and go, wow, talk about long distance. Okay. Is the code corrupt?
Give me an insight check. Potato. Look at that happy dog butt wagging its tail. It's delighted. Oh, there's that wedge face. No!
Oh, it landed. It landed.
What
Wow.
a teaser.
What
Sergeant shows up
Hey,
and a nat
hey.
20.
Exactly.
He's a good
My,
luck.
my sweet boy
Beautiful
hurt his
timed.
paw
Oh,
yesterday,
no.
and he has been sulking and walking.
Oh.
He's fine. He's perfect.
He's fine. He's just
He's fine. There's nothing wrong with him. Just as soon as he realizes that we know that he's hurt, he starts acting like he's in.
Like a toddler. Okay.
like a toddler.
Typical dog.
Look at that.
But
Yeah,
look
look
at
at
his
that
big
fish.
nose. Oh, I love the pink around it and his
Oh.
pink ears. Oh, he's just so splendid.
Well, we got a natural 20 on an insight check.
Yes.
Yes, that too. Excellent.
Getting this ping back, getting the connection. You also will receive the information of existence, basically what they've learned since they've woken up. And you get just a few solas, just a few days. And you get the sense that that location has moved. It was farther over to the west. Not over, yeah, to the west.
So
With
are
an-
we talking underwater, underground tunnels? Hollow Earth?
Good question. One that
Are
I
we
can't
talking
answer directly.
Godzilla?
One
we talking
one I can't answer, but I can give you more information for the fact that
Can I
it was a
give you a
natural 20.
screonk?
With the natural 20, you will get that you were only sent a fraction. It's like you were given one line of code as opposed to the entire code itself.
Right. No, I understand that. Okay. I will send all general world knowledge that I have. Nothing primordial, nothing magical, arcane knowledge, but everything of the world as I know it since I have awoken chronologically. The continents, the nations, the conquests, the struggles, all that stuff. Huge dump.
You fry his brain and leave him in
No,
a
it's-
state.
We're talking here communication wise, we know the baud rate that we can accept.
What's our download speeds like? Only 150 megabytes per second? Ooh, that's rough.
Come on, this is quantum communication.
Look at that ping.
A ping! After a moment of processing,
Mm-hmm.
there is... You've been awake for a lot longer than me.
Yes. And traveling. Though it seems like you might be traveling too.
I am.
I don't know how.
I'm just in a room, surrounded by stone.
But it's moving.
Whoa. What are you doing in the Nworq Mountains?
Currently en route to talk to the god of knowing.
Why?
He might have some answers to some of the struggles that are going on in the world right now. This Nworq invasion and some of the other struggles that are going on that we see. Information. He is the god of information, and we need information. What better place to go?
There is. No, you're right. That does feel like right. No. Still makes sense.
Protection.
Hmm.
Protect the world. Protect the people.
What am I supposed to protect? The connection vanishes.
Okay. Baby steps.
Baby steps to do. No, no. Why did I do that to myself? Course of the day.
Shut your mouth.
Yeah, I had to very quickly. Course of the day goes by. You find yourself.
We're
at a
not
nice
done
little...
with this date conversation.
No,
We're not
you're
done
not.
with this
You're
time
not
conversation.
serious.
Bit.
All
One
right,
bit.
well, while you're camping, while
My
you're setting
last-
up camp
yes.
for the night,
Yes.
there we go. Carry on.
Okay, so to bring us back around, so how many hours a week do you guys work? Because if you said you work every day, you don't take a day off. What does that mean?
Depending on the occupation, it can be dusk till dawn. Or, well, dawn till dusk, I guess.
So there's no workers' rights here?
You work until the work is done.
Yeah, we work until work's done, or at least work's done enough for the day. And then we just do it again the next day. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
And I'm guessing you don't get holidays off. Yeah?
In a pantheon like this, there are so many holidays that, you can't have all of them off, otherwise nothing would ever happen.
Well,
So
yeah,
no.
there are lesser holidays that you do not get off, of course, but there are still fundamental. There isn't a Labor Day here in this world.
I
A
every
day
day is Labor Day.
specifically for people who
We labor every day.
labor to
What
make
we
the
talking
world
about?
better, to take the day off.
That seems like an anti-Labor Day, so misnamed. But I don't think that exists. That doesn't sound like it would make sense.
We're not celebrating labor. We are celebrating the laborers, the workers, allowing everyone a day off in order to spend time with loved ones or family or
Who
go
would
fishing.
protect
I don't
the
know.
walls from the Nworq?
Who would
In
not
times
put
of war are
tables?
different. I'm going to turn to William very
Who
sharp
would serve the beer
as
for
a
the
soldier, very sharply, and go, times of war are different. I understand that. Listen, I'm talking about in times of peace. There's no... I don't know how to explain this, but we
take off on holidays as and when they personally need to, but you don't have a holiday every line. That doesn't make any sense.
as a rule, we work 40 hours a week. Every week.
That's it? That seems awfully short considering how many hours are in a week. How do you possibly get
Would you
everything
say
done?
we're a backwards civilization?
I so far as I've seen, we are maybe slightly different, but not. You guys are way ahead of us because you've worked more hours. I just think perhaps after a certain point, the quality of work decreases as you work more hours, and therefore, at the end of the day, it's kind of been a wash between our worlds. You get what I mean? We have a lot of like art and culture and very well-known plays. Very well-known plays, actually. It's my favorite form of art, actually. Is plays. No workers' rights at all.
Would you say
Like
that
at all.
individuals have a natural natural state of needing rest?
More than
Yeah,
just your sleep?
I'd say as mortal beings, rest is probably one of the most important things. DM, correct me if I'm wrong, as someone. No, that got way too personal. I'm sorry. It was right there. I had to go in that direction.
You all hear an overpowering
Drinking
voice
breaks the fourth wall.
break through the surface of this cave you're in, going, "Sleep is important." Don't screw your
What's
bodies up,
that?
people.
I think
Teffie
the
will try
rocks
to contact
agree.
here.
No,
Well, of course,
but-
sleep is important. One must sleep, when it is time. But
no,
to
but
have
like
extra days
rest.
for sleeping.
I'm not. Listen, there's rest for the body. Of course, there's rest for the body. Listen, sleep is, no matter what the working culture is, sleep is important. I'm talking about rest for the soul. I'm talking about you as a mortal being. And now, you're a soldier, William, and Teffie, as far as I've learned, you are simultaneously kind of a researcher and an adventurer. So, as far as work goes, you're not. You're not. I don't think you're working the same amount as other people, as like masons or smiths are. So, there's
I
a
was a
metal
shopkeeper.
cat. I doubt he works. So I don't think we're the best
Don't work.
group of people.
If
No
the
was
mason took a
official
day off,
holidays at
wouldn't
all.
they just go to the other masons? You would
Boreas
lose
does
business.
not know this conversation.
Potentially go out of business.
It's just sitting there looking back and forth between
If-
all the people talking.
If your shop is not open, how do you expect to make a living? You have to work for the shop to be open to gain an income.
I mean, some shops stay open 6 days a week, but that's their prerogative. But the vast majority of businesses are closed at least 1 day a week.
Are you possibly referring to the situation towards the end of one's life when you've brought enough wealth to do
Oh.
nothing each day?
Teffie nods affirmatively.
No, it is not exclusive to old and wealthy. In fact, there is kind of a pretty large disparity between the lower middle classes. It is a
It's
problem
because
we're
you don't
working
work.
on, and it's a problem we're working on in our culture. There,
How do I
Listen.
not work?
a lot of issues with the way we. I'm not saying yours is better than ours, but what I'm saying is, at least we have time to
It's not standing
do
guard
the
here at the
things that
cave
we
work.
want to do.
Do you not
Listen,
enjoy
we're
your
in a
work?
cave. There's got to be art. There's got to be some sort of ancient art around
You don't
here
want to
from
work?
the very beginning of what?
Why would you not want to work?
Because
Do you not
there's more
enjoy
to,
the work that
there's
you
more
do?
to life than that.
Why would
I'm
you
a
do
soldier.
something that
It's
you don't
different.
enjoy?
It's different. But I still take a day of rest. I still take some time off.
Every line?
No, because once again, I'm a soldier. It is different. You know this. It is very different for us. But if I was a smith, dang sure I'd be off at least 1 day a week. Screw you. I've got family. I've got friends. I've got things.
You
I've
have
got life.
family. Perhaps they are working instead of you.
No. They also have the same day off. That way we could spend time together. In
You
fact,
spend time with your family at the evening meal. You don't need a whole day for it.
In draconic culture, we only work 36 hours. Being honest, we have enough. We work together. We kind of share. We make it work. We work far less than the more modern societies of Parkoth do. Much happier, actually.
There is a loose vibration to the ground approximately every
Oh
3
no!
seconds.
This whole
as
time
you're
he's been
speaking.
dice.
William immediately flies out of the cave.
flying out of the cave.
Anybody else feel a vibration?
Don't go out of the cave.
Just occasional.
What time of day is it? What time of night is it?
The sun
Okay.
is just setting, so you're losing all sense of light. You're like you're dusk. That's the word. Yeah, you're at dusk.
Dusk.
What?
I did feel a rumble just now. So I feel like we should maybe
Anything?
put this conversation on hold for a sec. But that does sound like a fascinating society, and I should like to see it at some point. See
My
how
tongue
they
is
function, not working.
Immediately going out and
William, as you head out, give me a perception check.
Man, I cannot roll today. 10.
10.
Ooh.
It's an easy thing to perceive, thankfully. You're currently reaching the edge of your known territory. Places you've been before and gone to and scouted out. One more solar, and you will reach the farthest you've ever gone into Nworq territory before turning around. That being said, you're familiar with some of the landscape and terrain in this area. I mean, that's why you chose this. Heading up, though, there is one path where you can see trees falling, getting pushed over. And you can make out the vast shape of a very large Nworq moving its way southward. Every step it takes, you could feel that, or you would feel if you were still on the ground, that vibration from its footsteps. This thing's maybe 500 feet away from where you came, where you camped up. And as you're flying around still, something the rest of you would see, seeing as you're on a little bit of an incline, decided. This singular Nworq is accompanied by hundreds of others.
Are they headed our direction, or are they just like marching south?
Little off skew. So they're marching south. The only reason you're catching any of the vibration or the sight of them is they are essentially passing by.
Might be a good time to make ourselves as hidden as possible.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. William's going to shoot back into the cave. And say there's a huge Nworq column. Make no sound.
Are there any sort of, not exactly corners, but are there any sort of like branches to the cave where I could like duck behind a wall?
Like a nook. Yeah, you can find a nook.
Cool. I'm going to go to there. And I'm going to get out my sword. And just in case, I would like to ready the action to turn on the fire of the sword, but keep it off to not draw attention for the time being.
Okay.
Laborious will attempt pass without trace.
Okay.
Give us a boost to hiding.
A boost to hiding. Right as you're all feeling and seeing these little tiny spore particles start to fill your cave entrance area, BT, you start to sense a ping. Roughly 7 entities.
Corrupt ping.
Corrupt ping.
Okay.
Roughly
Going
7 or
towards
so.
cave.
Give me an insight check.
Gonna be close enough. There's the outer patrol. Where's dice? What are we gonna get? A natural one now?
Oh,
That's
14.
not bad.
Not bad.
22.
22. It's coming by close. They'll probably be able to look into the cave entrance. You've got maybe 30 seconds.
Get everyone back. Tell them get away from the entrance to the cave. They're coming. They'll look in, but if they don't see anything, give it a quick glance over. Is there anything that looks like we're leaving trace evidence of being here?
Foot tracks in the snow.
Did BT make a puddle for Adrat? Okay,
No.
cool.
No.
Reform the snow.
If
Okay.
possible, William is going to. He's also hiding. He's going to touch Tefflessa and try to cast guidance,
Guidance,
which he
okay.
knows may not work.
Give me a
I
percentile
got a
dice roll.
60. I got a
60?
60 for my percentile, by the way.
Okay. Your spell still goes off.
I have a question for you.
I have an answer.
Can we count snow as like one big object, or would it have to be like the individual snowflakes are the objects?
I would say that depends on the regional spot. So, snow, in essence, is just frozen ice. Or frozen water. Little tiny particles of frozen water. I would say if it's a powdery snow, that would be individual. This area, it's kind of caked on, so the surface level of it would be individual, but down below, they've kind of frozen together to form one piece of ice.
Okay, so I was considering using my levitate to kind of pick up the snow and then put it down again and see if that would maybe like brush away our footprints leading up to the cave.
Oh, as you're thinking about this, BT is weaving his energies through the ground, and the
Oh.
footprints are quite literally just puffing themselves back up,
What?
as though snow footprints never even came by. BT, this is draining. I would say use one of your spell slots for this.
Okay.
What was your checky check, William?
88.
88. Spell goes off. You are close enough at the point where our percentile range is 30 or lower. Your spell will fail.
Excellent. All right. So Teffie has guidance, so you can add a D4 to ability check of your choice.
I will also shift to pure black
Perfection.
and hide.
Everyone has a plus 10
Yeah.
from the Pass Without Trace.
Also hide.
So yeah, everyone give me stealth checks with plus 10.
Oh, no.
Wow.
No.
These rolls are going so well.
Dirty
You're doing
20.
great today. I got a 16.
I got a 20 on the die.
Oh, you got a natty 20?
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
That's an automatic success. In fact, actually, that counts as 2 successes, which is much better than last week, where one of your stealth checks, group stealth checks, you missed this, Peter. One of the group stealth checks, everyone failed.
Everyone failed.
Every single roll was a fail. I was having a great time. All right, Draken, yours was dirty 20.
Yeah.
Great. Tefflessa's was a natural 20. William, what you get?
28.
28. What did Boreas, you got 22?
No, 16.
16. Okay. And BT.
Even with your plus 10, you got a 16.
Oh, wait. Plus 10. Sorry. That's 26. I
Okay.
forgot to add the plus. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
It's your own
Wow.
spell. All right, BT, what you get?
22.
22. Unlike this
I
time.
rolled terrible.
As you nestle yourselves deep into this cave, trying to stay out of sight of the entrance, those of you who can see out will have that little peeking glance out there. There is one that comes by, walking on all 6 of its limbs. Its front 2 forearms have these long protrusions. You, Draken, would know exactly what this is. It's a flinger. It's a thing that these protrusions launch out with speed and then dig into your flesh and keep digging deeper and deeper and deeper until you get them removed. One of them pops by the entrance, looks around with its large insectoid eyes, looks in, makes a and then shifts and moves away from the entrance. You've all stayed out of its sight. About an hour passes, and BT, during that entire time frame, you can feel there are more patrols still moving around. A couple more even pass by the cave. None of them come in. They all... That's a D10. Yeah, no, that's bad. The last one, a much larger creature, thicker carapace, beefier forelimbs, stockier trunk-like legs, lumbers up to the cave entrance and sits down for a moment. The pounding of the ground continues, but it's lighter at this point. 10 minutes of this thing sitting there. It stands up and continues moving on. There's nothing else around now.
I'm guessing we'd wait just a touch longer than make our way out. Just
Yeah,
like-
definitely till I don't feel any corrupt pings close by. Or at all, if possible. It's such a short range anyhow.
You give it another 15, 20 minutes. No pings. The feel of the vibration in the ground is completely dissipated. It's gone. Take a look out. The landscape around, especially in that area they were marching through, has changed. Not in the way of things have shifted and moved around in magical ways, no. In a way of something very large has just pushed over very vast trees, deeply rooted trees, and pushed them to the ground. There is a track through the forest.
We have... Somebody has sending stone, right? Should probably update the wall of that's coming.
I will do that. I will tell them, because I don't know the number, I will tell them the amount of time it took from the start of that force to the end of it at a marching speed. And anyone in military terms would be able to go like, oh no. Oh no.
What would we call this unit of Nworq people, I guess? Like a fleet?
No,
Like a
that's
squadron?
way less than a fleet.
I'm just asking what word I should use in my book.
A column?
A column?
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 I mean,
yeah.
it is a marching column. So you, yeah, a column would be appropriate.
Okay,
Give
cool.
us a rough guesstimation. Is it
Rough
gonna be
guesstimation? Well,
hundreds
you've
of
got
thousands, I'm
You've
guessing?
got two very distinct military people. Why don't the two of you give me intelligence checks? Both of you I'm going to give advantage because you both have distinct military training. So William and Draken.
God, I love my amber die. Intelligence 23.
23.
I'm just adding my intelligence modifier, is that right?
Yep, just your intelligence modifier.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Both of you would be able to calculate it fairly easily, going around the distance, how long it took, and how many patrols there were around. That was at least 10,000 units.
All right. I'll let everybody know. Give or take
Woof.
1,000 troops.
For you,
Plus
William,
one.
that's the largest army of Nworq you've heard of. Marching this direction. The poor state of Ortulans, they deal with numbers like that on a regular basis.
I'd also tell him about the big boy that was making the. Because
Big
wasn't there
noises.
like a couple of big ones in there?
Yeah, there was one real big one, but you also that other big one you saw at the gate, which now is a small one in comparison.
Hmm.
There were a few of those too.
Cool. We have to take care of this issue very quickly, guys. Anyway,
Good thing about an army, they march a lot slower than an individual group. So, before the day goes by, though, and ends, Teffie, you have one question for the day.
Yes, I do. My question. I will admit, I actually do not have a question at this point. Does anyone have anything they would like to suggest for me to ask?
Like you're asking William?
I mean, at this point, you probably would have seen me, like, scribble onto a paper every so often and then just kind of go, at what you think to be my own answers, my own writing. So I'll explain. So I have this piece of paper that I was given in a dream by a rose. And basically, every so often, there's like a certain number of questions I can write on it, and then I'll get an answer. The answers tend to be a bit cryptic, but they've never been inherently false. Does anyone have any suggestions? I can't really figure what would be a good thing to ask today. Draken?
is the knowing God actually at the knowing notch?
That's a very good question. I don't have that answer yet. I know that that we'll find useful information there, including a book about the loops resetting. But let me go ahead and get that down. So Teffie will write on her paper, is the knowing God actually at the knowing's notch?
What you
It
get
could
back,
be the ping.
what you get back is... Okay, I'm just gonna tell it to you, and you can decide what kind of attitude he's taking for that question yourself. But your words, and you would all see after they write down that the ink melt into the paper and then come back for forming different words, and that little line at the top disappear. But it says, "I'm a god. What do you think?"
Oh, that's rude. He can't answer my question with another question.
Yeah. Hey, wait a minute.
He's a god.
Hey,
of
No
course he
rules
can.
against that.
There ain't no rules against that. It's his stuff.
And I was given it in a dream by a sassy flower, so you know what? It is what it is.
All right.
That's a good answer.
You all know that? Teffie, do you tell us all?
Yeah, sure. I'll just show you the paper, and then, once the answer fades away, I will once again write thank you on it.
And after a moment, the thank you bleeds into the paper. Disappears. Draken, you're familiar with daedal dealings well enough to know that that was a 100%, yeah, I'm kind of everywhere.
Okay. I'm gonna roll my eyes so heavy that anyone within a 2-mile radius of this area feels it.
I don't want to. I would say maybe don't do that, considering the
Nworq
10,000 unit column.
2-mile radius, just feel this presence of someone rolling
Of
their
an eye
eyes
roll.
behind them.
Immediately turn around and start heading towards us.
For effect. Not literally, but for effect. It's the eye roll is all the way back around. My eyes come up from the bottom.
Oh.
That's disconcerting.
No, anyway.
Can you hear Lily, or is that not coming?
I
through?
can.
I can
It's
no,
now.
we
adorable.
can. We just heard
Poor
her.
thing.
Right?
She's being needy.
Okay.
Yes.
I will give her a
Neglected.
bite back.
Neglected, that poor dog. It's been an
Neglected.
hour and a half.
No, she's just the super needy dog. Sometimes she'll just whine just so you look at her.
That's what Bitsy and Henry do. They demand attention. The world exists for them. All right, cool. So with that, I shall once again go to sleep.
Go
Honk shoe, honk shoe, shoe.
Honk me 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 as well.
Honk. Me, 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 me. During that night, Draken, you once again see the cave walls vanish from your sight as you fall asleep. And you find yourself standing in an open grass plain. About 400 feet ahead of you, that grass plain cuts evenly. Similar landscape. The other side completely burnt, charred, and off in the distance you can see that perpetual cloud burning on the inside and flashes of red lightning. As you stand there for a moment, you can see that that line is growing further away from you, a divide of the landscape, as new grass is very quickly sprouting up, taking over that burnt landscape. There is also something different. There's no tall, massive entity. There's a hut. A simple little house. Smoke coming from one of the chimneys. 2 windows and a door in the middle. What do you do?
I'm gonna head in that direction. And even though this is a dream sequence, I'm gonna enjoy it anyway. And I'm gonna pack my long pipe as I walk and just enjoy the field of grass as I make my way towards the hut.
You approach this hut door. You can hear there's movement on the inside. Do you open the door?
I give it a shave and a haircut.
Mm-hmm. You hear someone inside call. Enter.
I do.
You know that voice, Draken. As soon as you open the door, you see, dressed fairly finely, a lion-esque figure that you have met before. As Leon turns around, makes eye contact with you. I think that was his name.
No, it's Lathos.
Lathos. Thank you. As Lathos turns around, makes eye contact with you. It's been a while, hasn't it? That's where we're going to finish for the night.
The year may have closed for now. We hope you met a friend this go around. Tired and blurry you may be. We hope your minds are full from this revelry. Peace follow you out. May you return for more giggles